They're not worried about. He wants to play right now.
Yeah, because you can cut the
Right.
little pads out and put a pad on a cutter.
Right, and that's what I thought. So maybe it's possum, maybe it's something else. I don't know. Maybe
They're
they're
just playing games.
Yeah, well, I'm gonna use a different animal, anteater. Okay,
Right.
all right. Everybody knows about the statistics. The highlight of the game with the New York Jets and Giants was Victor Cruz. He looked like he's about to bump somebody out of their position as a receiver. The one-handed catch is everybody's talking about, even to the point that LeBron even did a Twitter about him. So Victor Cruz just went from an undrafted player, come on the field, highlight of the game, Monday night game on national TV, and just wore everybody out, reinforcing Darrelle Revis saying, y'all couldn't guard him. I guess I got to come back.
I think Darrelle Revis has been smart because all of a sudden they're going to have to deal because they're going to want him bad. They need it.
Right.
And I think he looked around at the teammates he had and said, I'm so far above these cats, you got to pay me twice what homeboy
There you go.
makes. And so, get everything you can.
Yeah. That for the most part, I thought it was a good showing because the part that I said, here, you let this guy come in who's undrafted, and 3 TDs. He scored all 3 TDs. And I'm saying, dude, it's not like he's blazingly fast, but what he did is he had a field day, and you look at his technique and how he catches the ball. Some people have magnets for hands. He has a magnet for the ball. I can't wait to see him, but unfortunately, because pay-to-play days are still around, he may not get in unless somebody just says put him in, because now they can merchandise him. And I'm pretty sure that company's looking at how has everybody responded to him. So,
Right.
He gets a lot of love on that. But coming out of football, man, Carmelo, man. Now, Mario.
Yeah, I've met him.
Right, I do.
I've met him. We did a thing on the red carpet with him. We
Yeah.
talked about it with his fragrance lawn. I like this brother.
I know you do.
This is a really nice guy, a good guy. Now people say, well, what's the because he's an excellent athlete,
Right.
but he's not full of himself. And
Sure.
and I'm telling you, spend 5 minutes with this cat, you're laughing, you're joking, and he's that kind of a person. So I'm a Carmelo Anthony fan. I said it. Told him then that day, I said, you made me a fan, brother.
Right.
You made me a fan.
And I think there's a lot of considerations going here, and Carmelo's smart. He's not saying what he's doing and where he's planning to go. But when you have a 3-year, $65 million contract extension on the table, money's not the issue. And he's taking his time about it because I think some other considerations coming in to play may be there. One is they didn't repeat their effort last year, of course, in accordance with the health. And we hope George Karl is getting way better because, the cancer that he was going through and the treatment and stuff. And you see they lost that edge before the year before where they actually took the Lakers into the finals, conference finals, and played them pretty tight. That was a down year from last year. There's no word that George Karl or everybody's going to be coming back the same with the same energy. Chauncey Billups is going to be a little bit older. I don't know what they did in the draft. So here it is. We don't know. Let's just assume if he's holding out for more money, Mauro, we don't know that. I don't see that that's the case. And with that contract year coming up next year for everybody across the league, that may have something to do with it. But let's just get away from that. Pick a city you think, if he's not playing in Denver, where he would best fit at. And you can use any criteria you want. I mean, it's to me, I had to put
San Antonio.
Okay, good. Now, for those who are not actually seeing us, let me go ahead, or hearing us. It could be either way. You could be reading it. But we had the choices: New York Knicks, New Orleans Hornets, L.A. Clippers, Orlando Magic, San Antonio Spurs, Phoenix Suns, Portland Trail Blazers, and New Jersey Nets. Now, here's it. You gave San Antonio Spurs. Why San Antonio?
Need to see Carmelo really play with a good big man.
What about that aging team, though, man?
It is an aging team. That's why I kind of like certain things about it, because I think you bring the spark of his youth.
Right.
I think that Tim Duncan is a good fit for him.
Right.
I think Tim Duncan, even aging, still brings so much to bear with the way he does things.
Right.
But I think that would be that's one of the more interesting things I would like to see if he was with them, because I would want to see those games. Just like I can say the same thing, even I can see him even with Phoenix. Okay?
Right.
Again, same kind of a thing.
Right.
Because I don't even waste any time looking at him on a team that I don't think has the potential to be a contender, because I think that's what he wants. I think all the time has to do with the fact that he's such an expensive player.
Right.
That anybody who's going to try to make a deal for him is going to have to make other deals as part of that. They can't just get him. They got to get him and cut loose somebody, get him and do. So they have to do. So it becomes a complicated, multi-layered deal to get him for almost anybody. And what they're going to get for him, I don't know again.
Right.
That's why you said, well, forget all that, just what team would be a fit. Because that's still the issue why that's why I don't look at New Jersey. That's why I don't look at Portland.
Right.
That's why I can't even imagine, if we were supposed to throw that up. I can't imagine Orlando having any money. That's like ridiculous. How can you even consider?
Right.
But okay, that's the only reason I didn't consider Orlando, but not the Clippers or New Orleans. So no, I would like to see Carmelo on Phoenix or San Antonio because I think those either one of those teams with him is a playoff bound team.
Yeah,
it's a matter of how much.
Yeah, and I think a lot he's looking at too is, he's coming out of that class, not the same class as LeBron exactly and all of them and D Wade, but he's watching everybody else around making their progressive moves towards getting closer to making an impact. And when you have that down year, and we know this, when the Lakers had that year with Karl Malone, Gary Payton, and Shaq and Kobe, and that year didn't pan out the way they wanted to, how long did it take before the Lakers had another championship? They had to play for another 5-6 years before they got back in the game. Denver doesn't look like they're coming back, but they could. I actually looked at San Antonio the way you did, Mario. I did, and I had to stop and say the coach, the organization, and winning is thumbs up. But you need to stop aging. And I think
how you going to do that?
I don't know how he's going to. Well, see, my whole point is that if he goes to an older team, I said, well, what is the incentive? So I agree with you.
But, Vic, here's the other thing. And this may be the one thing that'll get him through this year.
Right.
All the significant teams have an aging issue, except for Orlando.
And Portland.
Are you counting them as a contending team?
Yes, I am. The only reason why I'm saying that.
Because, in other words, to me, the youthful teams that we know, like Oklahoma and all them, they are youthful, and the youth can going to be a plus or a minus for them again this year.
And if they get a Carmelo on Oklahoma with what they have already, they may not need a big man center because he's going to open up their whole approach. Remember, they don't have...
I can see that, even though, Vic, I still would like to see Carmelo playing with a big man.
Yeah.
I mean, a real big man. That's, to me, been part of the issue.
How many real big men are there in the league?
Well, they ain't a whole lot. Real big man. We're the real man. Right. We're the real man. He needs to play with some other big man, and this is not the one for Shaq.
There's 3 producing...
I love Shaq, but this is not the one for him.
There's 3 producing big men as it relates to their increased production or their impact. And one you wouldn't even consider a center. Of course, D. Howard. And, of course, we look at Paul Gasol as the ones who seem to be consistent with what they do. Although Paul Gasol has the best all-around game from passing, scoring, rebounds.
You left out some people that would be insulted.
I know that, but see,
Nowitzki and all them.
No. See, Nowitzki likes to play that outside, and then I go in.
He's a center, though.
Yeah, see, I'm looking at that big man down low like Lee, who used to be on New York Knicks. Nobody even paid attention to him and then looked at his production. Was it David Lee? You're blown away because why? He's not one of those big celebrity kind of shooters. And, here's the part where I sit there and I had to compare his numbers to Paul Gasol. I said, dude, no wonder they threw a contract at you at Golden State or wherever. And you left New York. Why would you leave the Big Apple? You look at his numbers and I said, man, you're not even a traditional big man and you are putting up big man numbers.
He left because he hates that thin pizza, that thin crust pizza.
It only took you about 20 minutes before you had to say something
I'm
like
just saying San Francisco has so much better food.
Right.
I know New York say, we have the food. Yeah, but you had that slummy-ass city.
Okay. All right. Well, you know what? I can't tell you which team Carmelo's going to be in, but I can tell you this much.
They keep talking about the Knicks.
Yeah, I keep
That's what they keep saying. They keep saying Knicks.
Yes.
Why they have the money and they got Stoudemire.
The problem is if he stays in Denver.
Oh, he can't stay in Denver.
Thank you.
Okay. For him, staying in Denver is like a slow death. It is. And have you any of y'all ever been to Denver?
See, here we go. Denver under the bus.
It's not that Denver's not a bad place.
Yeah,
I'm
but
just saying.
You're not sold on it.
No.
You're not
going to be. In other words, it's a nice place, but it's a little slow for me. And, I couldn't get used to the very slow airport.
And here's a
Really a slow
wait,
airport.
that's right. You're right. And the cold airport.
Hey,
check it out.
Miles away from the city. You like riding for miles.
Yeah,
just to find where is the damn town.
Yeah, oh, you can't. And it's not one of those big.
It's not a flashy town.
No,
it's like
not.
more of like a working kind of.
Yeah, it's different.
It's,
well, anyway, hey, look.
like Buffalo.
Any cities that everybody's turning off there. Going,
I know, but everybody says, oh, like, see, people go like, Buffalo? Okay,
Yeah,
I know what you mean.
Yeah.
I'm not saying Buffalo is terrible. I'm just saying.
It ain't great. No,
Buffalo.
no. Look at this way. I say, bottom line is, if somebody says, Carmelo Anthony, you're the first or second leading scorer in the league, and then everybody's going to major merchandising markets, and here you are, and they say your agent is going like this. Okay, this is Denver now.
You're
you want to spend
Denver.
You're going to be your 5-6 years. You may get close to the championship. If you don't, is this a merchandising market?
No.
Okay, so
all
what
they have is an omelet.
So
what else do they have for Denver, baby? Think about it. You could say Broncos, but forget sports.
The Rockies.
What do you know? Right. See, it's a Denver omelet, the Rockies. What do you know? See, I'm saying you think of horse, men riding horses, cowboys. What else? High plains. Okay,
I got you.
all right.
Well, okay. All right. Well, let me go on and move on because I know that's a story that's going to continue on even throughout next week. I can't wait to see what he does. I think the writing's on the wall already. I think he's already had to think of his best interest and move on because sometimes chemistry is chemistry and whatever that chemistry is chemistry. And I don't know. I don't know if they can recover that. All right. Sports highlight moments, man. I had to hit this. We talked about one of the subjects early today or yesterday. And I'm doing these highlight points only because I just want a simple answer. They're never simple. Let me stop. Okay, here it is. Where and what fit do you see Isaiah Thomas' role in the NBA? Since they basically said the public and the media said, what the hell is going on with the owner? And the consultancy that he got from him is now been shipped out.
You know what? I stay off of Isaiah.
What's wrong?
I don't. You know what? I've been very disillusioned with him for a while. Both. I didn't understand the whole thing with him and Marcus. Okay, if you just go look at the Marcus Camby stuff,
right,
in New York and
right.
the Knicks, while at the same time with the sexual harassment stuff,
right.
I'm sorry. It's
too much.
I have to distance myself from Isaiah and just see what this.
I got
is.
you. No, I got you. See, the hard part about it is that you're looking for a fit for him. Period.
I'm not.
Okay.
He can stay out. For
But
all I care.
There are first of all, whatever he went through, unfortunately, didn't bring clarity. And I think that what people are judging him on in that last big incident, as it relates,
Which one is it? The sexual harassment or the how the Knicks sucked so badly on every level with him there?
It's a third one too.
Okay.
You remember when he had to get rushed in emergency for hospitalization? The question about what happened with something about did he get a reaction to something he was taking? Questions about was that a suicide? I mean, people question.
There's some emotional over. The thing about Isaiah is that there's a lot of stories and stuff that you don't know if they're true or not.
Right.
And because there's such inflammatory stories,
right.
they kind of make or break your opinion if they're true or not. And we
right.
don't know.
Yeah.
We don't know. I don't know.
Right. Okay. All right. So let me just go on because I'm going to skip over one or two because they're already out of it. I'm going to go over to the story I told you about yesterday, which already occurred, I believe, on Sunday, about Lance Stephenson's mindset when I told you about where he waited for his girlfriend at 5 o'clock.
This is the NBA rookie player.